but I got to get you all up here for the signing. We'll work that out. So thank you. And again, kids, thank you for being here, okay? Thank you very much. Maybe I can talk to you afterwards. Will you talk to me later? Okay. All right. Thank you.
I do have to say, just on the issue of gas prices, after waiting for a long time to have enough chips in this country to finally get my electric vehicle, I got it and drove it from Michigan to here this last weekend and went by every single gas station, and didn't matter how high it was. And so I'm looking forward to the opportunity for us to move to vehicles that aren't going to be dependent on the whims of the oil companies.
I think the other mission, every viewer who watches your show went to a gas station this past weekend and filled up. Yep. Or put $10 in or $5 in or whatever they could afford. And if it wasn't them, it was a member of their family that was sitting shotgun in the car, or maybe a friend who did the same thing. And they look at that thing and they think, man, this is sticker shock. Where's it going to stop? Well, the question went to the White House yesterday about what are you going to do about gas prices, and what was the answer? We have nothing to preview for you. Well, what did you do over the weekend? Because this is front of mind for Americans, and the answer yesterday, just like the Normandy question,
Bill,
was absent.
Gas prices, I understand what the administration has done up to this point on the policy side. Given the fact that they keep hitting new highs, are there new initiatives, new policy proposals that your team is working through right now that could possibly have an effect, that you could roll out in the weeks ahead if prices continue where they've been?
So everything's on the table as what happened when Putin started a mass, but we're going to continue to do everything that we can. I don't have anything to preview for you.
You wrote a letter to the White House about their effort to potentially reduce federal student loan debt, but you have a concern about ethics.
Yeah, Brett. At a time when the president is talking about canceling $10,000 of student loan debt for any American who has it, he has numerous White House aides who actually have student loan debt, who are working on this matter in violation of his own ethics guidance. That's inappropriate. More fundamentally, he doesn't have the legal authority to cancel student loan debt, and it's deeply unfair. What about all those kids who went to college and worked during college and didn't take out loans, or they paid their loans back? Or the vast majority of Americans who don't have a college degree, who work as waiters and waitresses or truck drivers or have a small lawn care business, they didn't take out loans. And now we're going to ask them to repay the loans of people who did go to school and who agreed to repay them. That is deeply unfair. The president shouldn't do it. He certainly shouldn't have aides who are going to benefit from it working on the matter.
With respect to energy, the administration has done everything that they can to bring down energy costs, for example, through an historic release of 1 million barrels a day from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, and energy prices, gas prices, while very high, have risen a lot. They would be higher without that. But Putin's war in Ukraine is having impacts on energy and food prices globally.
Secretary Yellen, if you admit that you were wrong about inflation being temporary, how can you be confident that government spending is not the cause of inflation?
Heading to the car right now. But
did you ever warn the White House that increased government spending could have contributed to the inflation that we're seeing today?
We're just heading to the car. Thank you very much.
There's no question that we have huge inflation pressures, that inflation is really our top economic problem at this point, and that it's critical that we address it. So I do expect inflation to remain high, although I very much hope that it will be coming down now.
The endless delays and perpetually empty store shelves have some mothers weighing an agonizing decision to breastfeed longer or restart nursing after having stopped. CNN senior medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen joins us now live. Elizabeth, you're talking to some of these moms. What are they telling you?
They're telling me, Jake, that they're really struggling. They nursed their babies for a number of months, and then they said, you know what, it's time to wean. I'm going back to work. Well, they feel like they can't because of the formula shortage.
What is actually still on the table, though, to bring gas prices down at this point? Because the president has said and made very clear that there's not much left that he can do.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me. Unfortunately, that is the brutal reality. This is in large part caused by Putin's aggression. The president is asking for Congress and others for potential ideas But as you say, the reality is that there isn't very much more to be done.
So new reporting on messaging struggles within the White House. CNN's Isaac Dever reports, quote, being familiar never makes the feeling less dreadful. White House aides emailing each other during one of President Joe Biden's stops on the road, tracking who's covering what he's saying and which TV channels are taking the speech live, and realizing a number of times that the answer was none. You are thinking, said one person familiar, why are we doing this?